4 Russian assault groups simultaneously attacked in the west of Donetsk Oblast, but suffered a crushing defeat before reaching Ukrainian positions, Forbes writes. In December, the Russians captured Kurakhovo, a strategic town in the south of the region. However, they were unable to advance further due to exhaustion and a lack of armored vehicles. 4 months later, they stepped up their offensive again. We expect Russian offensive actions to expand in the south in the coming months. Analyst Tatarigami, founder of the Ukrainian Frontelligence, said, "The attack began on Tuesday. Russian forces simultaneously struck north of Kurakhovo and south of Serebryane. Within 2 hours, 4 combined groups set off from different directions and at different times to the area of the settlement of Bogdanovka. Infantry, buggies and motorcycles, armored vehicles, infantry fighting vehicles and tanks." The Khortytsia group of the Ukrainian Armed Forces reported. The goal was to capture Bogdanovka, Troitsky and Khortytsia. However, the Ukrainian defense, the 72nd Mechanized Brigade, Marines and drone units stopped the enemy. Surveillance drones recorded the enemy's advance, after which FPV drones launched strikes. The drone attack was so dense that the explosions of some devices provoked the explosion of neighboring ones. Not a single Russian assault group reached the Ukrainian positions. According to Khortytsia, 2 tanks, 2 armored personnel carriers, 4 buggies, 4 motorcycles and at least 50 occupiers were destroyed. The situation for Ukrainian forces remains difficult, and the overall balance is in Russia's favor. However, despite Russia's recent attempts to portray Ukraine's situation as dire, they have yet to gain operational or strategic advantage inside Ukraine, Tatarigami commented. Deputy head of the Office of the President of Ukraine, Pavlo Palisa, reported that the Russian army will intensify offensive actions at the end of April and in May. According to him, the invaders may focus on the attacks on Pokrovsk and will also act near Kupiansk and Liman and on the southeastern fronts near Zaporozhye and Novopavlovka. Reserve Major General of the Ukrainian Armed Forces, political and military figure Sergei Krivonos, stated that the occupiers continue to prepare for an offensive in several directions but are not yet ready for a large-scale operation.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky visited wounded soldiers on Friday at a hospital in the Dnipropetrovsk region. According to Associated Press, Zelensky chatted with servicemen and presented them with awards for their service. During the visit to the central city of Kryvyi Rih, Zelensky also held a meeting with military commanders, the presidential office said. The meeting focused on the strengthening of Ukraine's air defense and, in particular, the Dnipro region with the help of planes, helicopters and additional air defense systems, the presidential office added. Among those in attendance was Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, Oleksandr Syrsky.
Якщо можна, фото на пам'ять. Можна. Старшого лейтенанта. Дякую за службу. До народу України. Дякую за службу. Дякую. Сидіть, будь ласка. Добре, дякую. Здоров'я. Ми їм не даємо розмовляти. По-другому не можна. Добре. Олександр Віталійович. Дякую. Дякую. Дякую.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky placed a brown teddy bear at the site of an attack in his hometown in which 9 children were killed. According to Associated Press, in total, 20 people died when a Russian missile tore through apartment buildings and blasted a playground. More than 70 were injured in the attack last Friday evening on the town of Kryvyi Rih. Zelensky visited the playground, a week later strewn with flowers and soft toys in honor of the children. He was accompanied by Dnipro Regional Military Administration Serhiy Lysak as he left a candle and a toy at the site of the strike on the playground. The children were playing on swings and in a sandbox in a tree-lined park at the time of the attack.